For great prices and service, turn to Bill Page Toyota. Visit BillPageToyota.com.
Tonight, several developing stories as we come on the air. President Trump responding a short time ago after his daughter Ivanka broke from her father today on more than one issue and describing what she says was a, quote, low point in the administration. What her father is now saying tonight. Also breaking at this hour, reports the president will now decide within days whether he'll sit down with Robert Mueller. Also developing tonight, the mother and father, the boyfriend, all coming before the cameras today, their plea. And what do authorities know after that college student went missing? The extreme weather watch at this hour, concern over flash flooding up and down the East Coast, just as millions head home from work. Rob Marciano standing by. For the first time, the CBS chairman under fire, now taking questions just a short time ago. Did anyone ask about the allegations against him? And the praise for Les Moonves offered on the call. Police under fire tonight, the woman inside the hospital, several officers responding. One of them seen punching her, authorities say even as she turns around. And the daycare scare playing out today, the children escaping through the windows, officers lifting them out. And the first American company now worth $1 trillion. It happened today, likely with your help.
From ABC News, this is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a very busy Thursday night. And we begin with two developing headlines involving the president at this hour. Reports tonight that he will decide within days whether he will sit down with Robert Mueller. But the president also reacting tonight to what his daughter Ivanka said today. Ivanka Trump describing what she says was a, quote, low point in the White House, and answering questions about the meeting in Trump Tower after Russians promised dirt on Hillary Clinton. Did Ivanka know about it? The president tonight responding to his own daughter's words, and ABC's Kira Phillips leading us off.
They were the pictures that stunned the nation. Migrant children in detention centers, thousands of them separated from their parents by the Trump administration. Today, Ivanka Trump speaking out for the first time, describing it as a low point for her.
A low point in the White House for a number of your colleagues was the kids at the border issue. What is your view of that?
Yes, that was a low point for me as well. I feel very strongly about that, and I am very vehemently against family separation. I am a daughter of an immigrant. My mother grew up in communist Czech Republic, but we are a country of laws.
At an Axios forum today, the president's daughter and senior White House advisor also asked about the president's repeated attacks on the news media. At his Florida rally this week, supporters hurling insults at reporters. The president himself has called the media
the enemy of the people.
So today, in front of a room of reporters, his daughter was asked,
Do you think that we're the enemy of the people?
Sorry?
Do you think the media is the enemy of the people?
No, I do not feel that the media is the enemy of the people.
She also spoke for the first time about that infamous Trump Tower meeting where her brother and husband met with a Russian lawyer they were told had dirt on Hillary Clinton.
Have you talked to Robert Mueller or his team? And did you know about the Trump Tower meeting in June 2016 before it happened? Or did you see any of those visitors?
No and no.
So let's get to Kira Phillips. She's with us live tonight from Washington. And Kira, the president reacting to Ivanka Trump's words today?
That's right, David. Ivanka Trump said she doesn't believe the media is the enemy of the people. And the president responded in a tweet saying they asked my daughter, Ivanka Trump, whether or not the media is the enemy of the people. She correctly said no. It's the fake news, which is a large percentage of the media. That is the enemy of the people. So there you have it, the president and his daughter tonight, David.
Kira Phillips leading us off. Kira, thank you. And ABC News was first to report that the special counsel wants to ask President Trump about obstruction of justice, both in written form and in person. And tonight, the other developing headline here, the president's lawyer now saying when the president will decide whether to do it. A decision likely, he says, within days. And about Russia, the president's FBI chief, the director of national intelligence, the director of Homeland Security, all of them coming out today in force. ABC's chief White House correspondent Jonathan Karl with what they said about Russia.
Just over 2 weeks ago, standing next to Russian President Vladimir Putin, President Trump refused to blame Russia for meddling in our election.
So I have great confidence in my intelligence people, but I will tell you that President Putin was extremely strong and powerful in his denial today.
But today, the president's national security team displayed a united front. Russia did it and is trying to do it again.
It goes beyond the elections. It goes to Russia's intent to undermine our democratic values, drive a wedge between our allies, and do a number of other nefarious things.
That message was echoed by the FBI director.
Russia attempted to interfere with the last election and continues to engage in malign influence operations to this day.
And to the Secretary of Homeland Security.
Our democracy itself is in the crosshairs.
The president was not in the room today, but his national security team clearly wants the world to know they are taking this seriously.
We acknowledge the threat. It is real. It is continuing, and we're doing everything we can to have a legitimate election.
The president insists he raised the issue in his one-on-one meeting with Putin. But 17 days later, his top intelligence advisor, who should know what was discussed, acknowledged he's still not sure.
I'm not in a position to either understand fully or talk about what happened at Helsinki.
The president now insists he accepts the intelligence agency's conclusion Russia interfered in the election, but he's added he thinks others may have done it too.
Has there been any evidence from the intelligence community that there were others besides Russia that were involved in election meddling?
Certainly we know there are others, and we know that there are others that are considering making attempts in 2018.
Who were the others that were involved in interference in 2016?
I can't get into specific details.
So let's get to John Karl. He's live at the White House tonight. And John, Special Counsel Robert Mueller has been investigating Russian meddling, as we know, possible collusion within the Trump campaign. And as I mentioned, we were the first to report our team 24 hours ago that the special counsel wants to ask the president specifically about obstruction of justice. And tonight, late word, the president's lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, giving some indication as to when the president will decide whether or not to sit down, John?
Rudy Giuliani told Politico, David, that a decision he believes will be made sometime within the next week to 10 days about whether or not the president will agree to an interview with the special counsel. But I've got to say, Giuliani has set many deadlines before that have come and gone. I would not say that this one is set in stone.
All right, John Karl, to be continued. There's a lot of other news tonight, and from Iowa this evening, an emotional appeal from the mother, the father, and the boyfriend of Molly Tibbetts, pleading for her return, all before the cameras today. The college student vanished more than 2 weeks ago, but her family, as you're about to hear, firmly believes she is still alive. Tonight, the reward jumping to more than $170,000 after what was believed to be a major tip. What we've now learned about that tonight as well. ABC's Alex Perez in Iowa tonight.
Tonight, the family of missing 20-year-old University of Iowa student Molly Tibbetts with their biggest public plea yet, asking for Molly's safe return.
I do think she's out there, and I think we can bring her home.
The reward for information leading to her whereabouts is skyrocketing, now $172,000.
We believe that Molly is still alive, and if someone has abducted her, we are pleading with you to please release her.
The family did not say if their plea was based on anything they're learning from police who have been searching for Molly since she was last spotted July 18th. She'd been living with her boyfriend Dalton Jack, who was working a construction job 100 miles away when she disappeared. Police say he is not a suspect. Today, Jack took to the podium to speak directly to a possible abductor.
You know, if they're listening, then I would just like them to know that, imagine this was you. How would you feel? Just do the right thing and, you know, let her go.
Crime Stoppers of Central Iowa saying all tips will be kept confidential, more than 200 so far, including a possible sighting at this truck stop in Missouri, 230 miles away. And this afternoon, investigators canvassing this field in the county where Molly disappeared. Both leads turning up nothing.
Alex Perez joined us live tonight from Brooklyn, Iowa, the town where Molly Tibbetts went missing. And I know those searches overnight and today did turn up at least nothing so far. But the FBI and local authorities indicating to you, Alex, that leads are still pouring in.
That's right, David. They are certainly not giving up hope. There are signs like this one across the area. Authorities tell me they have about 40 investigators working this case every day. Family members believe there's someone out there that has a clue that will help authorities crack this case. David?
Alex Perez tonight. Alex, thank you. Next tonight, the concern over extreme weather in the east tonight. 35 million under flash flood watches this evening from Georgia all the way up to New England. It comes after days of heavy rain already. This parking lot in West Virginia getting slammed there. A possible tornado this morning in Charlottesville, Virginia, downing trees, damaging the scene there and the school. And the slow-moving storm front hovering up and down the East Coast right into the weekend. So let's get right back to meteorologist Rob Marciano, who's with us live tonight, tracking it all. Hey, Rob.
Hey, David, you said it. Is it a painfully slow-moving system, and where it's not raining, it is really, really humid. Take a look at this map. It shows the precipitable water, basically the yellows and orange. That's where the deepest layers of high humidity is, the potential for the heaviest rain, and that's where you have the flash flood watches up now from Georgia all the way to Vermont. I'm concerned really mostly across the western Carolinas through south central Virginia tonight for the potential flooding. You see the storms expected to train there tomorrow, again up against the front, but on Saturday, the front drifts closer to Philly, New York, Hartford, and at the very least, it's going to be a messy situation through at least the first half of the weekend. David?
Rob Marciano with us live again tonight. Rob, thank you. The Trump administration planning tonight to weaken fuel economy standards, rolling back Obama-era rules. The proposal would freeze the standards at 35 miles a gallon, at least until 2025. The administration now arguing that the stricter standards make new cars too expensive. They argue people are driving older cars that pollute more and are less safe on the roads. California and a number of other states, along with environmental groups, plan to fight the plan. Next this evening, just a short time ago, we heard from CBS Chairman Les Moonves for the first time since those allegations of sexual misconduct surfaced. Moonves speaking on a conference call about corporate earnings, and many were eager to hear if he would address the allegations. Here tonight, ABC's Eva Pilgrim.
Tonight, CBS CEO Les Moonves silent about the sexual misconduct allegations against him that have rocked the network he's run for 2 decades.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining us today.
Speaking on a public earnings call only about CBS financials, Moonves in control and praised by at least one investor.
Les, it's amazing how much you've diversified CBS's revenue over the last, say, 3 to 5 years.
No one asking him about the New Yorker expose where 6 women came forward accusing him of offenses ranging from unwanted advances to sexual assault. This as CBS hires 2 prominent female attorneys to look into claims against him and the culture at CBS. Earlier this week, CBS Films president Terry Press struggling to reconcile the Moonves she knows with the allegations, posting this statement. I do not believe that it is my place to question the accounts put forth by the women, but I do find myself asking that if we are examining the industry as it existed decades before through the lens of 2018, should we also discuss a path to learning, reconciliation, and forgiveness? Moonves' wife on her show defending her husband.
I issued the one and only statement I will ever make on this topic on Twitter. And I will stand by that statement today, tomorrow, forever.
But the LA Times reports the CBS board knew of at least one separate allegation reported to police months ago involving Moonves, the unnamed woman claiming he sexually assaulted her 3 times in the 80s. But the LA County District Attorney's Office determined the incidents are outside the statute of limitations. CBS and Moonves are not commenting on this latest allegation, but Moonves has denied assaulting anyone or misusing his position of power.
So Eva Pilgrim back with us tonight, and we know Les Moonves still is in charge over at CBS while this independent investigation is now underway. But as for that commission he helped start, Eva?
Well, Moonves has chosen to step down from that commission. It's a high-profile commission made of top media execs aiming to eliminate sexual harassment in the workplace. David, he turned in his resignation to the group this week.
All right, Eva Pilgrim continuing to cover the story for us. Eva, thank you. Tonight, day 3 in the trial of former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort. Heidi Washkuhn testifying today that she processed Manafort's personal and business expenses. She was the bookkeeper, but testified she did not know about more than a dozen accounts he allegedly held overseas. Prosecutors also showed Manafort's financial documents submitted to banks for potential loans. The bookkeeper testifying they differed from the version that she had generated for Manafort. There is still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Thursday. The first American company now worth $1 trillion. It happened today, and you might have helped. Also ahead, look at this, the images today, that daycare scare playing out. A man barricaded inside, children